So this is our temporary kitchen.
Right.
We are about to embark on the biggest interior renovation to date. The kitchen. We've done kitchens before, but on a much smaller scale. This feels huge. Are we ready? Probably not. Today we'll talk about the scariest part of any renovation, the budget. But before we touch on that, let's look at our close to finished kitchen design. I'll put a link to that video so you can take a look.
We switched the island back to being 90 centimeters across.
Right.
Rather than it was 120.
Yeah, we felt it was a little too big because we actually, mapped it out on the floor.
Yeah.
And it felt massive, like a big boat in the middle of the kitchen.
We can still get a lot of cabinets in there. You can do full depth cabinets on one side and half depth cabinets on the other side.
Well, we should say drawers. We're not a real cabinet kind of family. We enjoy the drawer.
Yeah.
We like the drawers. We will have some cabinets, but drawers are really great to use. This is a sink. So this is a little tiny prep sink. It's not tiny, but it's more of a prep sink for vegetables or washing your hands when you're cooking.
This is the fireplace. That's the stove. Mm-hmm. That's countertop.
And then we have our secondary hidden induction cooktop in the island. I don't know what size I'm going to make that, 2 burners or 4 burners, but those are the type of stove that it just looks like a countertop.
This wall here, we're trying to figure out what to do because it just looked really heavy and too closed in. What we seem to come up with is having both refrigerators here, dishwasher, sink, and then just, I guess that would be drawers under there.
Yeah, counter space. I mean,
So
obviously
counter on each
counter
side,
space next to the sink.
And also a window here, so you can see from the kitchen through to the pantry and the window in the pantry.
Yeah, so we're letting in a good amount of natural light. And then the other thing that Matt suggested, which I kind of liked, is that this cabinet over here was originally floor to ceiling, but he's created it more so it looks like a piece of furniture. Right. Because we don't want the whole kitchen to feel completely built in and new, so we're still trying to come up with ways to not make it look like a sterile modern kitchen. Some of you were confused that we were adding a spiral staircase. We have 2 spiral staircases which are original to the chateau. Right. And that's sort of it's kind of common in these older homes from the 17th and 18th centuries. So this is completely original.
That's not going anywhere.
That's not going anywhere. We're not removing it. I mean, we're just trying to keep the bones of the house original. And I think by just kind of removing this wall, and we don't even know if that wall was original in the first place.
It's over here, actually.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, there's a wall. There's a wall there. Yeah. We are celebrating today. Not only is Foreo sponsoring this video, but they're having a birthday. Meet the FAQ 202 by Foreo, a new generation of LED silicone mask that uses 8 different wavelengths of light therapy to tackle signs of aging as well as other skin concerns. Lincoln can enjoy his LED facial for up to 15 minutes while he continues on with his busy day. It's app-connected and easy to use with preset treatments to target specific skin concerns. But if you don't have your phone, simply press the universal button and start your treatment. He's currently using the blue LED treatment to tackle the occasional blemish and some oiliness. Now that you've been using the FAQ 202, how has it helped you?
I've noticed a big improvement in the fine lines and wrinkles.
So what really surprised me is how much less noticeable my sunspots are, especially since they usually flare up this time of year when it gets warmer outside. And we both started seeing results with the FAQ 202 in about 2 weeks. And I feel our skin really looks and feels so much better since adding Foreo products to our daily routines. Foreo is celebrating their birthday with some amazing deals right now. Use Chateau 35 for an extra 35% on almost all Foreo products. It works site-wide and stacks with their birthday sale, so it's the perfect time to stock up. So then we have the 3D drawings.
Spiral staircase.
Yep.
This is where the stove, fireplace.
Yep.
This is the island, which is narrower now.
Matt hasn't included any of the details because this was just preliminary. He sent this to us. And then once we approve everything, that's when all the fun details come into play, like where the drawers go and what goes in each drawer. So that's going to be a huge help. I mean, we're saving some money that we're using the La Cornue here. We're reusing that we purchased. So that's a huge savings for us. Of course, we have the opening to the dining room. And this is how it looks from, if you're looking south. These will be 2 refrigerators, cabinetry on top. And then we've added a window and there's glass in the doors. Of course, you know, we still haven't worked out what kind of style they're going to be. This is just sort of an idea of what preliminary idea. I'm assuming that's you.
Must be.
Yeah, that looks like you. Huh? You're always just standing around.
There you can see the window better.
Yeah, so that's the window. And I think we're still trying to figure out what these shelves in the pantry. We just have a few more details to work out. But I like the idea of how open that is. And I really like this. I think it's going to be just super cool.
And there's also a straight on shot.
Yeah.
To look at that wall.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a door from the mudroom.
That's the mudroom,
That's pantry door.
Yep. And there's a cat. There should be like 6 more cats. One drinking out of the faucet, one on top of the shelf.
Knocking something off.
But I like the idea that it's open and I can display my copper pots in there, or whatever I'm going to put in there. Now for the fun part is the budget. So,
there are a lot of things that have zeros here because we're assuming that I'm going to do the work.
Right, but that could possibly change. Right. He had given us ballpark, low, average, and high.
Well, the low was 39,000 euros. The average was 57,000 euros, and the high was 76,000 euros. Quite a bit of a range. It's almost double the low.
Right, but I don't think it's going to be the low. Just let's put it that way.
No, that's 26,000 for kitchen cabinets.
Right.
Which, who knows what they're going to be, but they could be less, they could be that, they could be more.
We had discussed possibly putting IKEA cabinets in, but we were quickly like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Not for this kitchen. I think we'd consider it for the cottage kitchen, but that's just too bottom. Yeah. Then you can go the other direction, which is a company like DeVol, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. They're an English cabinetry maker. But that's high end. Manufactured in England, and then you have to pay all the extra bits and bobs because of Brexit.
Yeah.
So that's we're not going to go with any kind of English company, anything like that. We're thinking of a nice shaker cabinet.
Right.
And I did find a company, over a year ago. When were we looking into that?
One of the times that we were thinking about doing the kitchen.
Yeah, so we've had several false starts with our kitchen renovation. So the first time we were looking into it, I was researching cabinet companies. And I did find this company out of Sweden, and they make custom cabinetry at a really nice price point. It's kind of middle of the road. It's not super high end, but it's not terrible. Everything is custom, so you measure it and then they just ship it to us. We're leaning towards that cabinet company, and we spoke to them. They're really nice. Hopefully we can work with them.
Right. We need to get an estimate from them based on the number of cabinets we need, once we know how many cabinets we need.
Right, and the big question is, what are we going to do for an island? I like the idea of a piece of furniture, but it's not practical for me.
Right.
And considering the space. So maybe we can create something that looks a little different or bespoke.
Well, I think, doing what did we do there? Where you've got legs.
Yeah.
And those could be legs from, even antique legs that we find from a table or something. So it looks less like a kitchen island and a little more like halfway between having an old table in there and having
right. So we do want something with legs but lower to the ground. And I know I initially said I didn't want that, but I feel like if we have something that goes from counter to floor, it's just going to look too heavy and not,
Right.
yeah, too heavy. I guess that's the word. Yeah, I mean, I think that the biggest expense on here, is the cabinetry.
Right.
Right.
So the cabinets on the high end, he's got 26,000 something euros.
Yeah.
He's also got, for the fireplace, 12,000, because we don't know what we have to do for that.
Well, simply because that's going to be a custom build. I mean, it's not like you can just go buy a fireplace. I mean, we have to hire somebody.
And that needs to be done by someone who knows what they're doing, we don't burn the house down.
We need a competent professional. I mean, I'm sure we could, wing it, but we don't want to, and something disastrous might happen. So we definitely know we're going to have to hire somebody to do the fireplace.
Yeah.
But that's a big part of the kitchen, so we want to do it right, and we want to make it look nice. It's just trying to find somebody. Again, like I've said before, the reason why we end up doing a lot of stuff ourselves is because it's hard to find people. It's hard to find really good craftspeople who are reliable.
Right.
But they're out there. It's just it might take us a while.
Get someone through word of mouth.
Yeah, so if anybody knows anybody, come on over. If you're a mason out there and you do good work, get in touch.
So the other things that are fair, that are higher euro amounts is the floor.
Right, because
that's 5,000 to 6,000. Well, it's going to be like this floor, the design. I can't remember what's it called. A herringbone.
Herringbone.
Modern wood. That's multi-layer, so you can have the heat under it.
Right.
But they're going to be individual boards.
Oh my God, who's going to install that? You?
Yeah.
Us?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be a learning curve, but the thing is, we're going to take our time with this because we want to get it right, and we can't. We won't be rushing things out because we need to get a YouTube video out, So if it takes 2 weeks to install the floor, it takes 2 weeks to install the floor.
3,000 or 4,000 for countertops, which that's really
and that's that's really when the problem is I feel like I'm going to overthink everything and then I'm not going to be able to make a decision. Usually I'm extremely decisive, but in this circumstance, I feel like
the stakes are too high.
The stakes are too high, and if I screw it up, I'm going to have to live with it like the rest of my life.
Take your time.
Yeah, we're going to take our time.
Things will, some things will start to come into view better as far as how much they're going to cost once we really get down to what the final kitchen layout really is, and can count cabinets, can count square feet of countertop and things like that, so we can really price things out.
Yeah. While you're here, please don't forget to subscribe. There's more kitchen content coming your way than you ever thought possible. So how are we going to arrange this? Because it is a large room. We clearly need to put the leaves on our table and reposition it. So our dining room table is going to be over here?
It's going to be this way.
Okay. And then this direction?
That's going to be kitchen stuff.
Like plumbed in sink and...
dishwasher, everything.
We need to configure it so that we can actually survive in this for a while because again, we don't know how long this whole thing is going to take. Easy breezy, or it could mean we have to replace beams in the kitchen ceiling. So it's really important that we get this so I can function cooking wise and you guys can survive if when I check out into a hotel. I'm dreading it, but I'm excited at the same time. It's just the mess and we've been through a kitchen renovation on a really small scale where I was washing dishes in the bathtub for maybe a month. Right?
Was it that long?
It felt like a month. Maybe it was a couple days, but no, it was like it was a couple weeks, I think. So I don't recommend washing your dishes in the bathtub, but you got to do what you got to do. The demo begins in August.
Right.
When I get back from my grand tour of the U.S. Well, ever since we bought this place, you know, I've had my Pinterest board, and I have ideas, and I like certain things. So now I can actually look up the pieces and say, okay, this is what this costs. You know, we're not going to go crazy because, first of all, we can't. We have so much more to do in here, but we just want to make this kitchen a real kind of workhorse for me, since I cook, and that was my previous job. So I just want to do things the right way.
Right, we don't want to have to redo it.
Exactly. But it doesn't mean you have to go way over budget and spend, you know, a couple $100,000 on a kitchen. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have something to say, leave us a comment.